Time and time again, I keep hearing from parents especially, what can I do to help my child with that extra bit of insight, that extra bit of support, so that when they do go to a job application, they've got something going for them. And I know that they'll be comfortable and secure and give of their best. Well, there's a woman who's come up with an idea which is just fantastic. Her name is Renata Sguario, and she joins us in the Informer studio. Her product is, and I say product, and it's more than that, much, much more than that. It's Maxme. Renata, welcome.
Thank you, George.
Maxme is an exciting idea. See if I get this right. It's you saying, we can help you get the maximum out of you, which is, I want the maximum out of me. Now, where did the idea come from? I love it, and I think there's so much more to it because you've added a couple of other little layers, which is truly exciting, and an app with a whole different name and idea. But where did the original idea come from? Did you, like me as a parent, think, we need to help them, how can we do it?
Such a good question, George. I did. I had the perfect storm collide for me.
Oh.
So I was about almost 30 years in corporate. Yeah. I have spent cutting my teeth on, big roles in big organisations. And so I've led lots of people, I've mentored, I've coached young people, older people.
And mixed in work areas that were demanding.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you learn that just because someone's had a bad day with you doesn't mean it's your time to quit or pull the pin.
100%,
yeah.
100%.
But they feel like that, don't they, these days?
Well, and to be honest with you, I've led people for a long time and not much has changed. The problem that we are facing though, particularly in our younger generation, is they're not getting that early grounding in the human skill development, in the soft skill development.
Why?
Look, there's a few compounding factors. The first factor absolutely is social media and a high reliance on being online, being digitally sort of immersed in this world that they're immersed in.
Have we handballed the babysitting to these devices instead of doing it more and more for us?
To be honest, George, I'm really challenged by this question because I'm an ex-technologist and I know the power that technology unlocks.
Yeah, but that's the old story. Technology used properly in the
Correct.
right hands can do marvellous things.
Correct.
However,
we've gone too far.
It was never meant to be a babysitter.
And we didn't realise. I think what's happened is it's sort of come up upon us.
Yes.
And we knew technology is good and we want our kids to have the latest and we want them to be forward thinking, etc. What we didn't realise is how immersed they would become in this fake world. And unfortunately, and back to your question, I've got two teenage girls. One's just turned 18, one's 15. Mm-hmm. And I look at them and I think,
two very different young women?
Very different young women, Josh. How did you guess?
While stab in the dark.
Absolutely. And I think about the kids, the young people I've led in the workforce, and I'm thinking, wow, they're going to take a big leap to get that success that you require in the workforce.
So what can we do? What can we do?
Maxme.
Maxme. So did it come to you in a dream? Did it come to you over a coffee? With a name like Sguario, you must have been in a coffee shop and seen the wonderful imagery immersing it, from a cup or something. Where did Maxme come from?
Look, it did come. It certainly came to me. And I wish I could dream up a really cool, amazing story. It's a bit like, when people talk about wedding proposals, or where did they propose to you? Like on Mount Kilimanjaro? No, actually in the kitchen, right? But the reality is one Saturday morning, the idea had been brewing in my head for a long time. It had been, and my passion was growing and growing as the problem statement kept producing itself to me.
It's just,
exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm a person that knows that particularly the demographic I'm interested in really making a difference with, it's got to be catchy, it's got to be snappy, it's got to be something that's meaningful.
Good.
And Maxme emerged, and because I thought about what I'm trying to affect.
So
what
the
am I trying to do?
The demographic is who?
Look, primarily that's sort of Gen Z and early millennial. To be honest with you, what's in the Maxme method that's been developed, and then also what finds itself in the app Hody, which I know we'll get to talk about, it is applicable for all generations, but certainly where I want to make a huge difference is in these new starters, is in the young folk who, as I said to you, are really that gap between what they need and what they're getting as they go through secondary and tertiary and into the workforce It is broadening, it's extending.
And there are vast gaps, absolutely right. So how does Maxme work? Tell me, if I'm a parent and I've reached out to you or I've reached out to Maxme, what am I going to see?
Great question, thanks. So what we started with this year is we really want to democratise the learning of human skills, which are not easy to do. We've done is
substantial.
They are substantial, and I call it sort of mind gymnastics. It's actually very, very different to maths, English, history, science, which actually is quite linear, really, and it can't be rote learnt.
Correct.
At the moment, I would argue our kids are learning to pass. We need to shift them to learning to live and learning for life. And so Maxme and what we've developed has bite-sized learning content with lots of activities to reinforce and make sustainable, delivered at the moment through an app.
Okay.
Now, I do also have a Year 10 work experience program that I've had the pleasure to produce some great results with a couple of independent schools this year. So that's another program that's available, because again, if you think about our secondary students, before they launch into the Year 11 and 12 obsession on their ATAR, comes the Year 10 year where they have a small window to think about, gee, what's employability all about? And in that small window, I'm sad to say, George, a lot of schools have given up on their work experience programs.
Shame.
How can that be? And again, I've got a Year 10.
Too hard basket, is it?
Too hard basket. And also, it wasn't getting the results. You know, you've got kids that are ending up on these work experience programs where they might, the best place they can get a week's work experience is at the local hairdresser because mum's pulled a string and got them in. They don't want to be a hairdresser.
No.
What are they possibly going to learn about business through that?
I say to people time and time again, don't panic and don't stress too much, because the job that you might end up in may well have not have been invented yet.
100%.
Right? And we're going through a technological revolution. Technology's coming at us, as we touched on earlier, at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And there are jobs that are going to emerge, especially post-COVID, that will demand, as you touched on, some of these skills, these soft skills, where I love, my wife is a high-end headhunter. She looks for problem solvers.
Creative problem solvers.
Creative problem solvers. Yeah. So if people want to know more about Maxme, what do they do?
Well, obviously the website is up and running. There's a lot of information on there, but also Hody, the app.
So it's Maxme, one word.
oneword.com.au.
So talk to me about Hody.
So Hody it's actually the choice of the word, and Hody actually means today in Latin. So there is a lot of meaning behind the choice of word.
Got it.
Don't put off till tomorrow what you can start on today, etc. But when I was looking again for something to call the app, something meaningful, cool, creative.
Got it.
I found Hody.
It's going to reach out to that group, that millennial group.
So
that needs that edge. Yeah.
It does need the edge. And
so
it sort of presented itself. When I thought about Hody, I thought about this cute little character and very much this concept of Hody in my pocket. When I am doubting myself or doubting what I need to know, when I need to know how to be more self-aware or communicate with impact more or to own it, how can I jump onto somewhere that's got curated learning for me? Someone's thought about what I need to know, because guess what? They've coached, mentored and guided others' career planning, career achievement. So what do I need to know in the palm of my hand where I can reference it? It's easy to understand, it's easy to apply,
and
it's cool.
Easy to download.
It's gamified, it can be downloaded, it's in my hand very quickly.
Fantastic stuff. So how long has Hody been up and running?
We launched our minimal viable product in digital technology speak in October. And we've actually.
So this is brand new.
Oh, it's absolutely brand new. Yeah. We've had a number of really great launches. So we've put more features in, and actually we've got some really cool stuff early next year as well.
So there's more to this because you're learning too.
100%.
Yeah, we're not just taking this opportunity to get the Generation Z and the millennials. We're also learning ourselves.
George, I can't explain.
You can.
Yeah, you're probably right. So I have run huge teams in big corporates, tier one corporates. I've had senior roles. But guess what? I've never started my own business. I've never started something from the ground up, from just an idea and then me.
Welcome to startup.
Right? Startup.
It's exciting. It really is exciting.
So exciting.
But more exciting for me is the fact that This is about a sector in the community that desperately needs this access code that you've offered.
Yep.
So Maxme and Hody, have a look at them. Make sure you download them. And if you want to know more, reach out to Renata on the Maxme website. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Compliments of the season, and more importantly, what is in store for 21?
Oh my goodness, well, hopefully a whole lot more. I mean, really the dream in everyone's hand that needs it. You know, we've got 300,000 graduates that are coming through just from this year out of tertiary studies.
Before I let you go,
yes.
Governments, councils and federal governments talking with you?
Absolutely. We are well progressed in several conversations because everybody knows the skills shortage.
The value. They see the value.
Of course.
Yeah. Terrific stuff. Renata Sguario joining us in the studio for TheInformer, and a fantastic opportunity. Have a look at it. If you've never come across it before, it's Maxme, the website, and Hody, the app. Thank you.
Thank you so much, George.